What's up YouTube, Webberz05 here, coming at you today with Q&A number 2. So, had a couple of questions pop up on my last video, not as many as the first one, so this may not be as long of an episode, but let's go through them. So my first set of questions are from Express Gaming. First question is, what other new Yu-Gi-Oh! Extra Deck mechanic would you like to see in the future? My thoughts would be a red background colour, and these monsters are once per dual cards with godlike effects, but can only be summoned if you're low around like 1,000 life points. For example, all these red background cards would start with Supreme in their names. There was a Supreme Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon that could be summoned by attributing any Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon fusion monster except Supreme Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Can only be summoned by attributing any Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon fusion monster. Can only be summoned if your life points are 1,000. Attack 5,500, defense 3,500. Effect would be once this card is summoned and your opponent has more life points than you, your opponent cannot attack any monster you control by any means possible. If this card is destroyed by any means or banished, then you can special summon back one Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from your graveyard. You can't have more than one type of red background in your extra. So to start with the first bit of the question, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has enough extra deck mechanics as it is, so I wouldn't really want to see anything else. I think the only thing I would like to see is, considering that we've recently had Odd Eyes Pendulum Lure Off Dragon as the first Ritual Pendulum, I would be interested to see if Konami can come up with an idea of a Link Pendulum at some point that maybe has a condition in the while it's in the pendulum zone, its link arrows are still treated as as active. I think that would be pretty cool that you can just have link zones from your pendulum zones. That's just my idea. But as for your idea of your mechanic, like a one-off like a new type of monster, which is like you can only have one of that type of card. That's not a bad idea. Like Rush Dueling has a similar thing with legend cards, specific cards that you can only have one of it. So that's so that could be pretty interesting. But the effects you've given it seem to be kind of a little bit restrictive. Additionally, I feel 5,500 attack is too much. Konami's never going to do something that high. But who knows? I mean, after they did Vrains, they took a break from coming up with extra deck mechanics and they went into the style of Rush Dueling, which just kind of improved on an already existing mechanic, which was normal and tribute summoning. So I don't know what I would like to see in the future, but I'm always interested to find out. Okay. Question 2, what are your favourite colours? Let me have a think about that on this green chair while I sit in front of this green wall. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I do seem to be a bit of a fan of green. Growing up, I was a really huge fan of green, and as I got older, I got more into red as well, because I've got red shirt, red bin. I'm not sure if you guys can just about see it, but my sofa is red as well. I've also got a red rug and my furnishings are red. So red, green and big I really like, and also black. You can never go wrong with something that's black. Question 3, any future movies you would like to see only or that's coming out this year? So this year from stuff I've seen, so we recently got the trailer by Marvel for Wakanda Forever. That looks really interesting. I'm interested to see where that's going to be going with the passing of Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. And also I recently saw the trailer for the Avatar sequel, which is The Way of Water, so probably be interested to seeing that. I don't think I've seen too many other trailers of things coming out this year. The only main thing I wanted to see this year was Thor Love and Thunder, and oh my god, that was absolutely amazing. It was just everything I wanted in a Thor film. It had action, adventure, humour, bit of romance as well. Everything you just wanted in a Thor film, so I absolutely loved it. Question 4. What are your favourite desserts you like the most in restaurants? I typically don't have desserts when I'm out in restaurants because most desserts have dairy and I'm lactose intolerant, so 9 out of 10 times there's something that I actually can't have, so I don't really have desserts when I go out. And question 5. Do you believe we are not alone in the universe and there must be alien life out there somewhere? I've never really thought too much about it. Maybe, possibly, but honestly I'm not sure. I prefer to subscribe to the thoughts of the many world theories, as in there's an infinite number of parallel universes, so surely in some of those universes there's a version of me that may or may not think that other universes exist. But hey, you never know. Okay, so that's it from Express Gaming, and then I've got 2 questions here from Dark Patrician 84. Question 1 is, what happened to your Madolche and branded Fusion Tech decks? I haven't seen them for a while. So, Madolche is in bits and pieces. Some of it is in my collection binder, and the rest of it, like the lower rarity stuff, is in two plastic slips in a deck box. Basically what happened with Madolche is it became a bit like Evil Heroes. I was just doing so much of the same thing, I got kind of bored of playing it, so that was just at one side. And as for the branded Fusion Tech, which I literally... Basically the thing with that is I picked it up because I wanted to get some of the new stuff, wanted some of the reprints, decided to have a go at putting something together, but I literally just threw something together in a span of a few minutes by using the branded stuff, combination of DPE and Realized Dark Dragoon. But now, currently, I got rid of my DPE, I got rid of my Dragoon, and without Despia, and since I don't have Despia, there's not really anything I could do with the Albaz engine to make it too impactful. So I haven't really been done. So that's just scrapped completely. And question 2, and also the last question. Since it's hard to film tournament games, how come you don't seem to film casual games on game nights when there's no tournaments on? Is it because of the lack of space on the bottom floor? That being said, I feel kind of bad if my tripod and camera take up space. Why can't we ever have the middle floor? So, yes, so part of it is because since I'm running the tournament, it's a bit difficult for me to concentrate on recording and making sure everyone's doing okay. Like, if I get called for a ruling, I have to pause the game, I have to pause my recording, go sort the ruling, come back, restart up, and then if I have to do it again later, I just end up having lots of pauses in it, which sometimes just throws me. It kind of can just throw me off a bit in terms of recording. Then I've got lots of editing to do as well. So it's just kind of I stopped recording tournament matches because I wanted to be able to like properly concentrate on the tournament itself as opposed to getting content. The other reason is in the past few months I noticed that my tournament related videos don't seem to get as many views, so that was one of the reasons I stopped. Additionally, I get lots of comments in my videos talking about misplays. Guys, misplays just happen. I don't need you to just point them out every single time. We all do it. You don't have to be a jerk about it. And in regards to... And on casual nights, yeah, we're in the basement. There's like very minimum space. I didn't really want to have my camera taking up a bit of space as well. But don't feel bad about you taking up space with your tripod, Richie. You've been recording. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have. By default, I feel you should have this. You should be able to record more frequently. And frankly, I just keep changing up my content and what I've been trying to do. Always trying to think of something new and different for me to try. So I'm not really too fussed if I can't record casual games as well. And in regards to your question of why we can't have the middle floor, it was essentially a small compromise because we used to just get the middle floor all the time, and then the Magic lot complained, so they had to make the compromise for the store that on when we have tournament nights we get the middle floor. When it's not a tournament night, they can get the middle floor. And then because of some issues that happened in Yu-Gi tournaments of a couple of casual players who were interfering with competitive players' games, a couple of which messed with the game state and actually cost somebody the match, the tournament players basically made the request that the casual lot be seated away during tournament play, just so we don't have issues like this. So yeah, that's basically kind of why casual Yu-Gi players got shifted down into the basement. Okay, so that is all the questions I've had. So to the guys who are, so to Dark Magician 84 and Express Gaming who asked them, hope you got the answers you wanted. And naturally, guys, I do these Q&As every Wednesday, usually afternoon. So get your questions in before then on this video for if you want to have them replied to next week. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.